Welcome back. Today I'm talking or explaining Rill Mortier, the next in line of Wizard King. Of course, Asta will jump ahead of him for that title. Um, Magic abilities. I don't know what I'll call this video. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, Rill, can't pronounce his last name, is the captain of the Clover Kingdom's Aqua Deer of the Magic Knights. And of course, like many other captains, he is, of course, a human elf, or at least an elf that was taken over because more than much, just since he's too powerful, he has to be made a villain most times than not. I'm not lying to you. He, of course, is the youngest captain that is to be made a captain. I don't know if Yuno has surpassed him as that. I think him and Yuno are the same age. Him, Yuno, and Asta are the same age. Of course, and he is next in line to be Wizard King. He should have the strongest squad, but of course that goes to it goes to the Golden Dawn. Anyway, he has the two different magic attributes, which is painting magic, which we see him use the most with his artistry, and the transformation magic, along with his painting magic. Now, along with that, he has different movesets, different abilities within his Grimoire: Spring of Restriction, Duke's Temples of Fire and Ice, which we see much earlier on in this show, God's Game for real, Phantom Dragon Valyr's Shout. Many we will see in the manga, so I will not mention their movesets, just because I will not have those pictures, and I really don't want to talk about what he will do in the manga. I hope he survives this coming arc, since he is one of the more interesting and one of the more powerful and younger characters. So if Black Clover were to expand after the main story ends, he would be an interesting way to go. Anyway, painting magic, his attribute allows him to generate and manipulate paint, basically making and doing whatever he wants. Imagination Toon Force personified, I ain't gonna lie. He can also use compound magic because he can use fire and ice. Anyway, this magic attribute, of course, manifests a palette and a paintbrush, which they use to generate and manipulate paint. As any illustration he wants can come to life. He can use more than two attributes, fire and ice, but it's the attributes he uses the most. But I know he can use more. Of course, this magic attribute is versatile because of the paint's ability to create anything the user imagines and to transform into any element, allowing the user to counter most magic attributes. And of course, when he is in great distress or has great creativity behind his distress and enjoyment and happiness, he can, push himself to the limit and surpass himself within his creation. Of course, as we see, he is still growing much more in power as him being the younger captains involved. That's kind of it. There's not much backstory on Rill. I don't think we'll get much backstory on any of the captains, just because they're not main characters. Yami got a backstory. The former captain of the Golden Dawn got a backstory. And of course, Asta and Yuno will forever get backstories. And all of the Black Wolves got backstories. But other than that, hopefully we get to see more, especially if he doesn't survive this current arc. But I haven't even seen him this current arc. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has he even fought in this current arc? Anyway, of course, like, subscribe. He can also use Mind His Own like every other captain. I think that's just worth mentioning. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.